Hi, I'm Ange, and this is my channel. And today we are going to talk about a subject that makes me so nauseous or nauseated. Nauseous, not, I don't know, one of those. And it's about how my husband and myself got into over $234,000 worth of debt. If you wait till the end of the video, though, there is a silver lining in all of this that I will break down for you. But I do want to break down the consumer debt we have and our mortgage debt, and combined it is over $234,000. A little background. Back in December of 2017, our finances were just a mess, an absolute mess. We paid for Christmas entirely on credit cards that were almost completely maxed out, and I'm getting emotional even talking about it. It was the worst. I was so stressed out. I was hardly sleeping. I hated checking the mail. I hated checking my bank account. I hated checking our bank account. 2016, I was 9 months pregnant with our first child, and my husband and I had made the decision as a family that I was going to be a stay-at-home mommy for a while, and I didn't know how long that would be. I didn't know what that would look like, but that my husband, we kind of did some rough math in our head, and I mean rough math because at that point we weren't budgeting at all and really had no idea. But you know, my husband makes a pretty decent income, and we figured if we cut back on pretty much everything, that I would stay at home with our newborn baby. Had my baby, best thing ever. But it was a rough transition for me. I've been making a regular paycheck since I was 16 years old. I had always made money, my own money. I had always earned my own paycheck, and I started to tie my own self-worth with that, which I know sounds crazy, but I had no idea what I was doing. There was no structure to my day. I was breastfeeding all the time. So when I would be breastfeeding or my baby would be napping, I started really finding some sort of temporary comfort in online shopping. So our debt that was already kind of bad before we had a child was really, really bad after we had a child, and just kept building and building and building. Phil and I had a good 7-8 year run almost of marriage where we were making two incomes, and two decent incomes at that, but not having a budget, pretty much blowing all of our money. But yet there was always another paycheck coming in. Going down to one income was hard. It was doable. It was hard. And our spending habits didn't reflect that. By December 2017, a year and a half in to being a stay-at-home mom, all of a sudden we were finding that we had no money. We were putting groceries on our credit card. We were putting gas on our credit card. We were putting tires on our credit card. We were financing pretty much everything because I would go to the grocery store and buy a bunch of groceries, but then I didn't meal plan at all. And then the food would go bad, but yet we just spent $300 at Costco and we had nothing to show for it. And I was asking my husband to bring home dinner because I was exhausted from being home with a baby and little sleep. And that's the last thing I wanted to do was make a home cooked meal. It finally caught up to us in December of 2017 when mid-December, after I had bought all the presents, and my husband came home and said, I need to buy something for our company gift exchange. I kind of had a meltdown because I hadn't budgeted for it and there wasn't enough money on our credit card that was almost maxed out. My husband wants to participate in his company gift exchange, and we don't have the money because of our crappy spending habits. That was our enough is enough moment. And I felt like I was dropping the ball because I was the one that was in charge of the bookkeeping and the finances and paying the bills. And all the bills were getting paid, but all the extra stuff, well, and groceries and gas, I guess that's not extra, that's kind of necessities, was getting put on a credit card. So I finally said, enough is enough. I have got to stop with my head being buried in the sand about our debt, and I have to literally log into all of our bank accounts, log into every place that I know that we owe money, and see for myself and write it down. So it's in front of me and I can see see it, and I'm not living in absolute ignorance anymore. I got a piece of paper and I logged in all of our consumer debt. And are you ready for it? Here it goes. Tires, $393.85. Bedroom furniture, $657.23. We rang up our Amazon card with a $7,000 limit, $6,528.76. Our MasterCard with a $12,000 limit was $11,313.09. Phil's private student loan, $18,823.71. My Jeep, which I love, $24,039.18. And Phil's charger, $25,617.84. Which means our total consumer debt as of January 1st, 2018 was $87,373.66. Sorry, looking at the notes here. The pennies are throwing me off. And our mortgage as of January 1st, 2018, when we started this whole debt-free journey, was $146,856.22. That means our total debt was $234,229.88. Whew, it was a mess. We were a mess. Enough was enough. I started tracking our spending. I actually went back, and it was actually pretty easy since we put everything on plastic. We didn't really use cash ever. I was able to log into our checking account and into our credit card statements, and I wrote down everything for 3 months. It took me hours. I waited till after my baby went to sleep one night, and I wrote down every single thing. I categorized it. I wrote down how much, obviously how much debt we had and what we were spending our money on, and it was eye-opening, especially with groceries. We were spending over $900 a month. We were spending $200 a month at restaurants. We had a small child. We didn't go out much, but apparently when we went out a lot, we made up for it. We had satellite radio in our cars. Come on. So after I tracked our spending, I saw how much debt we were in. I went to my husband and I said, I'm done. I don't want to be in debt anymore. He pretty much said to me, yeah, right, Ange. Everyone's in debt. But don't worry. He has come around now. He's totally on board. It took a year. January 1st, 2018, I created my first budget ever. It was a freaking mess. I grabbed a yellow legal pad that I had just sitting in my office, and I didn't know what I was doing. I just wrote down everything based on my 3 months of tracking our expenses, like for instance, restaurants, utilities, groceries, gas, and I said, okay, obviously all this needs to be cut out. Satellite radio, cell phone bills. So I kind of figured it out. Spoiler alert, it was a total mess. Total mess. It wasn't anywhere near close to what I thought it would be. But I didn't give up. I kept working on it each month, and it really did take me about 4 to 6 months to really get the whole budgeting thing. Really, in those first few months was a huge learning curve. We really did try and fail a lot on cutting back our expenses, especially with food. We still struggle with food. I'm making this video over a year and a half later after starting our journey, and we still struggle with the food budget. I do try to shop the sales. I do shop generic most of the time, but still need to work on that. Or I just need to, once we get out of debt, expand that category so I don't go over budget. Add more money to the food budget. We made a lot of gradual changes. We didn't cut everything out right away. The reason being, I knew that kind of wouldn't work. I know my husband. I love my Philly bear. He's gonna love that I said that. I love my Philly bear. But I knew that if I was so extreme with it, that he would immediately go to spending. And I probably would too. We started eliminating a few of our subscription services that we were using, whether it was a TV service or satellite radio. We haven't been on a vacation since the summer of 2017. We have had to decline many dinner invites, last minute dinner invites from family and friends. Unless it's like a really special occasion and we knew about it weeks beforehand to put the money aside for it, we just tell people no and we're on a budget, and people kind of have stopped asking us to go out. It has been a lot of sacrifice. I have spent, I know this is shocking to you guys, I go to a beauty school to get my hair cut and I pay $10 plus a tip. And Phil cuts his own hair. We cut our toddler's hair, and then our baby doesn't need his haircut yet. But when he does, we're gonna cut it ourselves. Don't do Starbucks anymore unless I have a gift card. And we just don't go to restaurants very much. And plus, when you have small kids, it's not that fun to go to restaurants. So it's just, we don't really exchange gifts anymore on special occasions. We just more go out to places and have experiences. I spend a lot of time at the park with my kids in the summer. I spend a lot of time at the library and taking advantage of their free classes and programs that they have there for kids. A lot of sacrifice. It is an absolute change in how you live, but it's not the end of the world. You find ways. We're getting our family pictures done via a Groupon offer that I saw, because there's no way that I'm paying a couple $100s for someone to take our pictures when I found a Groupon deal for $80 to take our pics. We have been on this journey for over a year and a half on a single income. We have had a baby. We have dealt with Phil having an emergency back surgery. We have cash flowed car problems. We have cash flowed house issues. As you know, home ownership is not cheap. There's a lot of unexpected things that have happened in this last over year and a half, but we have paid over $35,000 worth of debt off. Yeah, I know. And we cash flowed our first Christmas in December of 2018. The kids got gifts, family members got gifts, friends got gifts. We did not, I don't think Phil and I exchanged gifts. I don't think we did, but we didn't miss it at all. And we still had experiences. We went on a little Christmas cruise. My dad dressed up as Santa Claus. My mom had this like whole little setup at the house, and we just took the kids over there so they could get Santa pictures for free. The hard work is paying off, and it feels so good to knock out that tire payment. It feels so good to knock out that bedroom furniture payment. It feels amazing to see our credit cards and Phil's student loan go down now. Life is good. Life is really good, and it's not the end of the world. I do miss Starbucks sometimes though. It feels amazing to be going down the right path, and each month I get so excited when I see how much debt we were able to pay off. It feels awesome. We have paid off over $35,000 worth of debt. We have a $1,000 emergency fund. The world did not end. We're doing okay. Life is continuing on. Everyone's healthy, everyone's happy. Thank you so much for just listening to me ramble and watching this video. If you like it, please hit the like button, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss my weekly uploads every Friday. And see you next time. Thank you.